Well, the holiday season we're at the doorstep of it. Flu season is here as well. We've got you covered here on ABC 10. Joined this morning by Dr. Shahnaz Iqbal, Kaiser Permanente Internal Medicine physician. Doctor, thank you for coming in today. Do appreciate it. We're very much into flu season right now. In your opinion, should everyone get a flu shot?
100%. Everybody over the age of 6 months should get a flu shot.
Okay. Who especially should get a flu shot? Would it be immunocompromised people, seniors?
Absolutely. Those that are more susceptible to getting sicker with getting the flu. So that would be children over the age of 6 months, immunocompromised, like you were saying, patients with diabetes, heart disease, HIV, other chronic conditions, and patients over 65.
Okay, so the flu strain this year, is it different than last year's? Is it more severe?
Yeah. So every year the strains change a little bit. Last year's strain was very severe. The most number of pediatric deaths since 2004 in a non-epidemic year. We had 246 pediatric deaths from the flu last year. This year was predicted to be a severe strain as well, although in Northern California we haven't seen high numbers yet, but that doesn't mean it's not coming. So that's why we really encourage the flu vaccine.
And generally it takes, what, 2 weeks for it to kick in 100%?
Yeah, generally about 2 weeks.
Okay. Are people more skeptical about getting any types of vaccinations these days, in your opinion, since, say, 2020 with COVID and all that?
Yeah, in my experience, there's a lot more skepticism and there's a lot more confusion because there's a lot of noise out there and people don't really know what to believe. And so there is some skepticism, but the flu shot is very safe, it's tested, and it's very effective as well.
Where does flu season begin? I know we're on the West Coast, so does it start in Europe? Does it start in the East Coast? Where do you see it first spiking, and is that timed with colder weather?
Yeah. It does. It comes from the east, it travels to the southern hemisphere, and then the East Coast as it moves over to the West Coast. And it is timed with the colder weather. And we have to remember, we gather indoors in the colder weather, and so we're around more people, and so we're more susceptible of getting the flu.
When would you say is peak season for the flu? Would it be like Christmas gatherings, Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve, going to visit grandma? Yeah,
peak season starts in October some years, in November throughout December and January. We see all the way up until February sometimes. But the peak season would be December, so the best time to get your flu vaccine would be now, right before the Thanksgiving gatherings.
Okay, I generally, and I to talk to you about this, I will look at trends and naps and whatever, and I generally, I got the flu shot, and I'm waiting on the COVID, and I notice a lot of my colleagues, they got both in one day, and the next day they were like, man, I don't feel great. Yeah. Do you hear that?
Yeah, we do hear that. And so what happens is when you get a vaccine, it stimulates an immune response, not the same level of immune response that you would get when you actually had the flu or COVID, but there is some immune response that's stimulated. So you can feel a little bit under the weather. Okay. And so that's why you're feeling that way.
And the last question quickly, right after you get, let's say, a flu and or the COVID at the same time, do you recommend Tylenol or ibuprofen? What would you say would help?
Either one of those is fine if you're not allergic or have any adverse reactions.
Okay, Dr. Iqbal on flu and get your shot. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks, Will.